Welcome to the live stream. Let's look at Bitcoin and see what's going on. Yes, I'm live a little bit earlier than normal, and that's okay. Bitcoin's pumping, so I thought, you know what, let's do it. So today is Saturday, I do believe. I appreciate if you guys go show me support on TikTok as well. I think I'm still shadow banned on TikTok, not quite sure, but let me get TikTok up and running and wait for people to join. It is a different time than normal. I did post to Telegram and my trading group Discord that we are live, so hopefully that helps. Yeah, let me share my screen with you, and then we will get started. By the way, if you guys are new, appreciate if you guys hit the like and subscribe. It does help support the channel. And then also, if you hit the bell notification, you get notified every time I post a video. Actually, really quickly, before I keep sharing my screen with you, let me get the Crypto Fear and Greed Index posted up. And then we can, okay, now we're good. I guess I didn't have to show, but now let's look at that. And Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a move to the upside right now. That is a very good sign. And the date is 4/12. And yeah, let's look and see what's going on in Bitcoin. I do see more targets to the upside than to the downside, which is always a good sign for the people holding Bitcoin. So let me pull this up here on the other end. I got to get the music going, and then we will get started. Do a sound check really quick. Music going. All right, sound is good. Let me get the music going, and then we'll get started. Again, Bitcoin right now, I do see higher targets coming for Bitcoin. Right now, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is currently sitting at 45, so that's a good sign. So that is currently where we're sitting on that. Let's go look at Bookmap and see what Bookmap does suggest. Bookmap has more liquidity as of right now. If I get rid of this, make the screen a little bit bigger so that you can see my screen. Bookmap does have more liquidity to the downside, but again, you have a little bit up here, 86.6. It's actually, you definitely have more to the downside here at 84K. But that's like on the smaller time frames. I still see this as a falling wedge here for Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame, breaking to the upside. And right now, though, we have to understand this is a higher high, but like you overbought now at $85,600, and you made a slightly higher high, so that's not great. Your measure move is still $86,600 or $760. That is still the measure move for Bitcoin right now. Then I go to the half-hour time frame. The half-hour time frame still gives me hope and faith. I like conjoining the 15-minute time frame and the half-hour time frame together. Technically, this is the 33-minute time frame. So right now, Bitcoin is in this falling wedge, and we are starting to get that move to the upside. So, you know, I got the measure move from taking the last local high wick here to the last local low, and then your measure move would be that yellow line there at 86,760. Would be maybe slightly lower, 86,700, but around that level would be your measured move. So that's really what I still see going on for the rest of the next few hour or two. If we look at the 1 hour, it's kind of lackluster on the stock RSI. The 4-hour time frame is also extended, so let's just be cautious. But again, I still see more upside for Bitcoin going forward. Now, again, Bookmap does suggest you get a move to the downside. The 10-minute looks kind of bearish to me. We'll see what happens. Let's look at the smaller time frames, such as the 5-minute. What about the 4-minute? They're trying to hold, but that's a huge wick to like, and then it doesn't look fantastic. 3 minutes trying to make a higher low. So I'm gonna stay. I am currently long on Bitcoin from 85 to 45. So I just got in a little bit ago, right? At maybe hour ago. I'm gonna stay long on Bitcoin. I still think we can get that move up to 86.7, 86.8. We'll see what happens. So I'm staying long, but right now it's a little sketchy. I will say this: if you're not in the long right now, I would not long. Not financial advice. I'm just saying the 15-minute time frame is extended and overbought. So if we go to the higher time frames, like the 6-hour time frame, right now for Bitcoin, I see us being overbought on the RSI. 8-hour time frame is kind of the same situation. Daily is the same situation, I believe, as well. Daily just got overbought on the stock RSI. And we have weekly resistance at $88,600. So that's also a level that we must break. 2 days already overbought. That's really not a good sign. I'm still open-minded that the low is possibly not in. I would say it's 50-50. And actually, when I look at these higher time frames, the fact that the 1 day, the 2 day, and the 3 day time frames are overbought and you're making lower lows or lower highs, I should say, that's just not a good sign. So the smaller time frames still look okay, but again, this 3-day does not look very good that we put it at the bottom. Like that's a 3-day lower high. So I'm pretty open-minded that we could still go lower, but short term, I still see a little bit more upside. I could be wrong. Now, if you look at the 4-day, that's oversold. The 4-day suggests you bounce to the upside. That's really interesting that the 1, 2, and 3-day are that overbought, and then you go to the 4-day, 1 day lower, and that's still oversold. That's actually quite interesting. The weekly is still also very oversold. So the weekly and the 4-day, I would say on this, the 4-day and higher time frames look very bullish to me for a move up. Even the monthly is getting oversold. You don't see that very often in bull markets. So right now, I would say this. If we go back to the 50-minute time frame, if this, then that. For the rest of the night, if Bitcoin can hold this low here at 84,000, if we'll say 85K, if Bitcoin can hold $85,000, I see more upside for Bitcoin. If we can't hold 85K, then I do see 84.8. Well, obviously 85K. So if you lose 85K, I'd be looking for a move back down to 84K where we do have support. Actually, even $83,600. So if we lose 85K, I see a move, $1,500 move back to the downside. I'm kind of tempted to take those profits on this trade because it looks kind of lackluster to me. So I'm just going to close it. And I'm going to do... I'm only up $7 on the trade. I kind of just want to take it though. Because to be honest with you, it doesn't look good on Bitcoin does not look good. I believe that we're gonna head a little bit lower here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we get bought right back up. But I can re-enter when the 50-minute time frame is oversold. Like that's a bear. If you look at this candle right here, that's a bearish engulfing candle compared to your previous one. That's not a good look. If we're more bullish, that wouldn't happen. That's whenever you can put an entire red candle in the previous green candle, and that's what you can do right now. So to me, right now, we could get a bounce right back to the upside. I did say the half hour looks good, but beyond that, beyond the half hour, all these time frames on the smaller time frames look kind of lackluster to me, and I just don't want to be in the trade anymore. So I'd rather make $5-6 on a trade after fees than risk it dumping. And then if we hold these levels, I can re-enter when the 15-minute is oversold on the RSI. For right now, I just don't want to be in that trade anymore. So for me right now, guys, I see a little bit more downside on Bitcoin, at least on the 15-minute time frame. We'll see what happens, but that's just what I see. So let me open the comment section and we'll see what's going on. Wow, we got Bitcoin is going to 230 to 270,000. Been watching for 3 years, letting you know early. Well, I already know Bitcoin is going crazy high. I don't know what your time frame for that prediction is. My mentor taught me everything. So anyways, that's kind of what I see going on for Bitcoin. I do see a little bit more downside right here on the 15-minute time frame. We'll see my target for this bull run for Bitcoin is between $120,000 and $170,000. So we'll see if we can get up there, but that is my targets for Bitcoin using fibs. I don't use fibs very often, but that's my targets for Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens, but that's just what I see going on. And I guess I will leave it at that. So anyways, if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below and I'll look at them. So this is a new token. It's called FHE, and it currently has a market cap of around $20 or $30 million. I don't know the exact number, but it is looking bullish to me. So even no matter what Bitcoin does, this could really pump. This is the 50-minute time frame. I see this in a little bit of a bull pennant. And the measure move really that I see is about 14 cents on FHE. So I'm trading this currently on weeks. That's just currently what I'm doing. The measure move really would be 14 cents because from the high right here to the low right here, that's when you oversold. That's really the measure move. So I could see this really getting another massive move to the upside. Right now, the 30-minute time frame on this looks juicy. I'm almost tempted to enter long on this based on that. The 15's, doesn't look fantastic. The 10-minute doesn't look fantastic, but I do see possibly more upside for this. I believe it's pretty likely. 1 hour looks phenomenal because I'm going to probably enter this long here. This looks even better than Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin can do whatever it wants, but the 1 hour and the half-hour time frame look phenomenal to me on FHE. It's a micro cap, so it's high risk. If you did enter this trade, not financial advice, but I would personally put my stop loss. Well, that would be a pretty steep stop loss. So your stop loss would have to be like 7.6 cents. And I mean, especially if you're using leverage, So I'll put this trade out But to me, like this looks likely to get a move to the upside. So, guys, if you want to join the trading group and the Discord, link to join is on my YouTube page. Just click the watermark in the right-hand corner of the screen that says Crypto Andrew 333, and then you can join through click the Patreon link and go from there. So, yeah, that's why I do see FHE getting a bigger move to the upside. So that's just what I see going on right now on that. So. Let me go back. Maybe I should have stayed in the Bitcoin trade. It is what it is. I just saw the 15 being overbought, and it didn't look fantastic to me. So we'll see what happens. I can always re-enter right now if I really want to, but I'm gonna wait for the 15 to get oversold, and then we'll go from there. So you could even set alerts on the 15-minute time frame. Like if I really wanted to enter this trade when the 15-minute time frame is oversold on the RSI on the stock RSI, all I have to do is go down to stock RSI, and then I go click say, hey, if we cross 9 on the RSI, I'll be alerted, and then I can enter a trade then. So now I don't have to watch the charts. I can be alerted when it happens. Thank you for the follow, Tima. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. So yeah, that's kind of what I see going on for Bitcoin. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know and I'll look at them. Casper's having a very nice day today. Casper's up 2% on the new day, but it was up much more. It's up 21% on the week actually. So Casper really looks good to me. Casper just got above the 200-day moving average. That's a really good sign. So now if you break the 200 on the 4-hour, I would look for the 6-hour to be broken. That's what you did. And now the 8-hour would be the next stop. Which is currently coming in at 8 cents. So we'll see what happens, but Casper also looks very bullish to me for a move to the upside. If you look at the 12-hour time frame, I see a move coming to the upside up to 9.5 cents. So really, if you break the 8-hour 200, I'd be looking for the 12-hour to be broken. Casper in a very strong uptrend. When these happen, what you do is you kind of flag it out. So right here, I didn't see this until just now. I wasn't looking at this chart all day, but that's like a falling wedge that you got, or a bull pennant, whatever you want to call it. And right now, you're on your way to your measure move of 8.5 cents. So to me, Casper looks very bullish for a continuation to the upside. It's just one of the coins that I did see on my radar today based on how much it was up. So, Casper looks like the bull market's back on. There's a few altcoins that really look good. So that's why I'm open-minded to Bitcoin's bottom being in. But again, Bitcoin does not look good to me on the daily, 2-day, and 3-day. So anything is possible. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin does need to break the weekly resistance at 88,600. If you can do that, that would be a great sign. And then you're looking at 91K 100. So thank you guys for the likes. Thank you for the follow, Adam Davis 81. Yeah, so that's just what I see. A lot of these altcoins, a lot of these top altcoins look very bullish for a move to the upside. And to me, it says that the bull market is still on, but we'll see what happens. That's just so. Yeah, I think the best trade step I see for the night is FHE. I think that's the most likely one to get a bounce to the upside. I'd just be hesitant to enter because, again, where are you going to put your stop loss? If you're putting your stop loss at 7.6, that's just a long ways away. But beyond, I mean, to me, FHE looks like the one of the better trades of the night. It just does. I don't know. It just does. If Bitcoin pumps, I believe FHE will as well. I mean, the market cap's 25 million, so it's a pretty low market cap. So to me, it has room to go. And it's a pretty new coin as well. This is an entire price action since it came out. Binance actually listed it today as well, which usually sometimes could signal a top. So again, be cautious, but it's something to have on your radar, FHE. That's just, see, I was looking at down here when we were down at 3.5 the other day. So to me, FHE looks likely to continue its move, parabolic move at this point to the upside. So let me go and see what we got going over here on YouTube. And yeah, that's got no one what that's that. All right. I mean, to be fair, it's I usually don't go live this early, so that's fair. I'm kind of tempted to enter this trade on FHE. I think I'm going to do it. So, yeah, so you see in the last trade I made $7. Yeah. I wasn't loving what I saw in Bitcoin, but now Bitcoin looks good again. So I'm gonna wait for the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin to get oversold. And if that's above where we are now, it is what it is. But for right now, I'm gonna go enter a trade on FHE. And I'm gonna enter another trade on FHE. I don't know what just happened. I typed it in and it went away. FHE. There we go. So, wow, it's pumping right now. There you go. So I'm going to get in. I might have actually just missed it. I'm not going to do anything crazy. This is a really small account that I have right here. Um, I'm going to do like 90 bucks in this trade. $91 in the trade. We're using 3x leverage. Let's just open the trade. I got to have my stop loss in as well. Stop loss 0.076. That's a really steep stop loss. I would lose $50 on the trade. We're going to do it. I'm going to open the trade and we're going to go from there. So I'm in the trade now, and you can see that my average price is currently 9315, I do believe. 9306 is my current entry on this. So yeah, I entered the trade in front of you guys. That's what I believe is going to happen, and we'll go from there. So that's a measure move, and then your measure move is 14 cents. So I'm going to also hit a take profit of 14 cents. I should have done that before I entered the trade, but that's okay. Appreciate it, Charlie. Okay, so I don't know why it's not popping up. Where's my trade? Like it shows it on here. My trade should show up at the bottom of the screen. So I don't know what's going on. That's weird. I know I'm in the trade, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't know why there's no data. That's bizarre. That's really weird. This isn't working properly. Let me just close out of this, open this again. Right now on this trade, I did 3x leverage. It's an altcoin. Finally, there it is. So it's an altcoin. I did 3x leverage. I mean, I only put 90 bucks in the trade and my risk is $45, $50. So, I'm up 14 cents on the trade right now. Now I'm down 8 cents. So I need to put a stop loss then. That's what I need to do. I usually trade on my phone, so I'm not completely sure. Wow, I've never scrolled to the right. Okay, let me put a stop loss in. Or not stop loss, my take profit. I need to put my take profit in. So my take profit would be 0.14 cents, which would be 151% gain. So let me do 100%. 100%. So I'm risking $50 to make $135. If you divide 135 by 50, technically it said 49. I'm rounding up. That's a 2.7 R&R. I like it to be above 3, so I could probably move my stop loss up a little bit. But, again, that's a decent trade. 2.7. That means I could take this trade 3 times. And if I won, it means I could take this trade 2.7 times. If I won 1 out of every 2.7, I'd be break even. Hopefully that makes sense. And my liquidation is 6.2 cents. My stop loss is 0.076 cents, which again, I just said I'm going to move that up because I want it to be a 3-to-1 R&R. I'm going to hit confirm. I'm going to hit I understand. And hopefully that trade got entered. Let me zoom out here on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, so now my take profit's up there at 14 cents. My stop loss doesn't need to be raised because I think that's too steep of a stop loss. Although maybe I'll leave it because look, that was your last wick. I'll leave it there. 2.7 is a decent trade actually. So that's what we got going on. I'm in the trade now. And Bitcoin, I'm glad I sold because look at that capitulation to the downside. It's nothing crazy, but I'd be back to break even. It's a small account. I don't want to lose a lot of money. So we'll see what happens. And I said, even though Bitcoin might get a move to the downside, this still looks good to me for a move up. So that's what I got. That's what we're looking at on this. If you guys would like to and would like to see the entire screen, go follow me on YouTube, Crypto Injured 333. Hit the subscribe button. Then if you watch me on YouTube, you get to see the entire screen. Thank you guys for the likes. The first time here, can you film me on your style and play it if you don't mind? Curious on your perspective. Okay, whoever 00 Trader is, I don't know what you're up. You say my mentor's a fanboy. That's cool. You don't have to keep saying it. So I'm just gonna mute you, and yeah, I don't know what's going. That's kind of just weird. So all right, United States Explorer. Appreciate the follow. So what part don't you understand? How to execute an actual trade? So usually I trade on my phone, but because I'm live streaming, I did it on my computer. And that's actually the first time I've ever actually figured out how to put a stop loss in after I enter the trade on my computer using weeks. I've never done that before. So I saw this falling wedge here, and it looked good to me. And also, you're above the 200-day moving average, which is these yellow lines here. And when you're above that, that means the market is an uptrend or bullish. And that's so when I see a falling wedge above key moving averages like the 200, I usually like to go long, especially when I see a falling wedge. So again, I'm in the trade now, and we'll see what happens. Anything's possible, but now I'm in the trade. So yeah. Also, you have support at 7.6, which that's why my stop loss is below it. So we'll see what happens. Bitcoin really getting the move to the downside. I sold at 85.5, I think, or around that price. And my initial entry was 85.245, so I'm really happy I got out. I only made $5-6, maybe $6 on the trade, but again, that'd be all gone now if I stay on the trade. So, anyways, again, it's not much money. My account. I started with $100. Now it's at 160. So again, it's nothing crazy, and I've taken $40 out of the account as well. So technically, in a way, my account's actually doubled it at 200. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Crypto Focus 17. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. I mean, I don't know what exchange you're using, but on weeks you just slide to the amount that you want to use. It tells you how much it would be in USDT right here. Right now it says it would be $9 in USDT, and then you hit open long. But before you do that, you can enter a take profit, stop loss. So I could add to the trade right now if I want to. I don't want to. This is actually a lot of risk for this account, but again, it's a small account, so higher risk. As I grow the account, I'm going to lower the risk per trade. So, anyways, that's how you do it. I'm not sure that answered your question or not, but yeah. Stop loss would be at support, and take profit would be at resistance rate. Well, my take profit's not at resistance. For one, this is a new coin, so it's actually a price discovery. Anything above 10.6 cents is price discovery. This coin literally just came out yesterday. So my take profit's actually just the measured move of this flag. But stop loss is, yes, below that bounce we got, which is I would call that support at this point. Yeah, so stop loss below support, take profit at the measured move. You could even do a partial. It's actually smart to do like a 50% partial take profit at that all-time high, 10.6 cents, and then leave 50% of the trade running up until the measured move. And if you don't hit the measured move, then you come back down and hit the stop loss. But the risk in doing that is, if you go to 14 cents, you don't make all the money. But the other good thing is, if you don't get to 14 cents and you do a partial take profit, at least you made some money on the trade. So it's just kind of up to you what you do. Yeah, we're in the money on the trade now, not by much, but we're in the money. I only put $90 in the trade. We're up almost $3.30 in the trade. Again, that's nothing crazy. I understand. Even for me, in the grand scheme of my net worth, that's not much money. But for this account size, it's decent. So 4% up on the trade. We'll see. I only did 3x leverage, so I didn't even use crazy leverage. Really, I did not. Where did I enter? I entered at 94.20. Do you mean on the app? I mean, I just showed you. You would slide this bar to how much money you want to trade with, and then you'd hit take profit, stop loss, and hit open long. I don't quite understand the question. Okay, I think just like that, we're back to break even, but it is what it is. I don't even know what's the highest leverage I could use using this coin. It lets you do 50x leverage. You would get liquidated so damn fast if you use 50x leverage on this. That's absurd. Yeah, that's absurd. It was just at 7.6. Now you're at 93 in a few hours. To use 50x leverage on that's absurd. That doesn't make any sense. I use 50x leverage on Bitcoin. On altcoin, I would never do it. Even Ethereum, I don't think I would. That's just high leverage. That's maybe Ethereum. Maybe, but that's a big maybe. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know why they have a 50 up to 50x leverage on altcoins? Because they want people to get wrecked, and then they make more money in fees. That's way too high. Way too high leverage for an altcoin. I see Casper going up to 8.5 cents. Did I put that in my trading group? I don't think I did. I'm going to put that in my trading group. That way, if they're not watching the live stream, they can see Casper looking for 8 cents, 8.5 cents on Casper. All right, guys. That's So Bitcoin kept I won't say capitulating, but Bitcoin right now is getting a move back to the downside. And really, Bitcoin bulls must hold 84.8. If you don't hold 84.8, I see the next support being $83,600. And that's just what I see going on for Bitcoin. So that's kind of what I see going on. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know. Otherwise, with that being said, that's kind of what I want to go over for tonight. I'll be back live Monday, 11 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, that's my update for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin loses 84.8, I see 83,593 coming. If you hold 84.8, I see this continuing back to the upside up to 86,760. You have to understand right now that the RSI got really close to being overbought, but it went to 90 out of 100. So they never got overbought, and that's not a great sign. It's actually kind of a bearish sign. And you also made a lower high. I mean, a higher high. That's really bearish divergence, actually. Yeah, that's probably bearish divergence. You made a higher high in price action. Well, and if I go full screen on the RSI, did you make a higher high in price action or in the well, maybe it's not bearish divergence. The RSI kind of got like a double top there though, which I don't usually do TA on the RSI like that, but yeah, I would say it's bearish divergence, but that doesn't look good right now. So really, you have to hold the bulls have to hold $84,800. If you don't do that, then again, 83,600 is really the next stop that I see for Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin does keep dumping, FHE might do the same thing, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully Bitcoin can hold 84.8 and you get the bounce back to 87K or 86.7. That would be what I would like to see for my trade at least. But we'll see. Anything can happen, and that's what I see going on. If this and that, and I'll leave it at that. So right now, Bitcoin looks like, to me, we have a new candle forming in 2 minutes, but to me, Bitcoin, it doesn't look like you want to hold this level here, and that's not a great sign at 84.8. So that's kind of what I see going on for Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bookmap one more time. And Bookmap again, saying you have orders to the downside. It comes through once again. So far, Bookmap has been right. And Bookmap suggests that you go down to 84.2. If that were to happen, again, you'd be losing 84.8. And then eventually I would just see 83.6 being the next stop. So if Bookmap is correct and you do go down to 84.2, then it means that really I do see 83.6 incoming at some point. So to me, Bitcoin's actually more bearish than bullish at the smaller time frames. And you have to understand the daily, 2-day, and 3-day are all overbought. The 4-day and above look very bullish, but the 3-day and under, to me, does not look good for Bitcoin. So I would love a sub 70K Bitcoin or a sub 75K Bitcoin or whatever the last low was. That'd be awesome. I would absolutely buy that dip. If we start to break down here, I'm going to put some limit orders at the previous all-time high for Bitcoin. At 69,000. That would be a good area that I could see getting some orders put in at. But we'll see what happens. To me, that's just what I see going on, and that's going to be all I got. Thank you guys for stopping by. Again, if you guys want to join the train group, link to join is on YouTube through the watermark on my videos. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream, 11 p.m. Central Time on Monday. Until then, trade safe. Have a great rest of your night. And as always, guys, respect the trend. The trend is your friend until the end, baby. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for stopping by. And again, appreciate the support. Cheers and have a great rest of your Monday. Adios.